Colleagues and friends, I'm very happy to be here and present my thoughts on the topic of attracting German FDI to India. Last year marked 70 years of diplomatic relations between India and Germany, demonstrating a strong political and economic willingness of the two nations to join forces and be a partner in India's growth story of $5 trillion economy. Over the last 2 decades, Germany has invested over $13 billion in India. However, if one looks at the year-on-year total FDI outflow from Germany, the potential of collaboration is much, much higher. To observe the company that I head in South Asia, Southeast Asia, Middle East, and Africa region, with global headquarters in Munich in Germany, started its operation in India 27 years back. Since then, we have consistently invested in people, technology, and infrastructure to support the Indian ecosystem with solutions that drive quality, safety, security, and sustainability. To be assessed as an attractive investment option for an investor country, the host country needs to establish and demonstrate factors such as market potential, political stability, conducive foreign investment policy. Also, important are the government impetus, ease of doing business, skilled workforce, to name a few. I firmly believe that on most of them, we as a nation are well positioned. For example, market potential or opportunities, the sheer size of the domestic market, supported by a growing middle class and favorable demographic, will continue to fuel the growth. Stating a few stats, India is the 4th largest vehicle market in the automotive sector. Also, there is a huge potential on the EV market, valued at $2 billion by 2023. This is a topic I will a little bit touch upon later. In the renewable sector, we have the 5th largest renewable energy capacity globally and with the largest renewable capacity expansion program in the world. Secondly, the political will and stability are the factors that play a key role. As per the recent UNCTAD report, India continues to remain amongst the top 5 foreign direct investment recipient countries in the world, demonstrating investor trust in economic management and stable political scenario. Foreign investment is the third factor. To this, the Indian government is progressively moving towards permitting FDI in the various sectors, and have already permitted 100% FDI in many infrastructure areas. These investments are already providing the required impetus in building a robust infrastructure, a fundamental requirement for sustained economic growth. Like I mentioned earlier, in my current profile, I oversee strategies and operations for a very diversified region with close to 16 countries. During my interaction with different stakeholders in these countries, I'm particularly impressed with 2 countries, Singapore and Vietnam. While I share my observations, I fully recognize that social, economic, geopolitical conditions play a very important role in how a country functions, as such, negating the possibility of comparison. But we can always discuss our observations in forum like today to draw some ideas. Vietnam is a country that is seen as an investor-preferred destination. This country, like India, is witnessing a surge in investment due to the recent geopolitical situation, leading to reconfiguration of the supply chains. While the government is actively engaged and has undertaken many initiatives to tap on the opportunities on the horizon, I am keen to see how they navigate through, as some of the challenges that India faces are faced by them as well. Singapore is exactly on the other end of the spectrum, a country consistently recognized as the world's best place to do business. It ranks amongst the top 5 countries globally on governance and business environment related aspects like competitiveness, political stability, regulatory quality, etc. This is further supported by a well-established and efficient legal system that supports high level of personal safety and IP protection. Network of trade agreements and tax structures are designed to ensure the success and prosperity of the company that is investing into the country. One thing that really got my attention was the active facilitation done by the government or its agencies for the co-creation amongst the various stakeholders. Like development of internationally recognized framework we call it as CII. So it's like Smart Industry Readiness Index by the World Economic Forum, the Economic Development Board of Singapore, together with McKinsey, Siemens, and we as a company, TÜV SÜD. I also feel that India is well positioned where increased inflow of FDI is a reflection of the global trust in the India growth story. However, it's extremely critical to address the image of complex structures, lengthy, complicated processes. Ease of doing business is of paramount importance to any of the investors. The government has undertaken many steps which have resulted in reduction of compliance burden in more than 25,000 compliances over the last few years. To substantiate this point, I'm referring to World Bank's, and this was referred exactly by Mr. Madan, by Pankaj, that the World Bank's ease of doing business ranking 2020, India jumped 79 positions from 122nd in 2014 to 63rd in 2020. However, more needs to be done to ensure that we receive a larger share of investment made globally. Digitalization will be a key enabler as the government augments its efforts to bring in speed, agility, and transparency in the current system. If I can think of another limiting factor is the vast and fragmented market and rules and regulations and policies that vary from state to state. This leads to subjective interpretation of prevailing laws. Here to interventions such as PM Gati Shakti, single window clearances, GIS mapped land bank are in place. However, the need is for stronger implementation, and in this case, timely onboarding the state government and the central government ministries is extremely critical. With all these interventions mentioned before, I'm very sure that India's attractiveness as an investment destination will be exciting for many countries, including Germany. Germany, if I just now talk about, purely from the German perspective, Germany over the years has invested mainly in automotive, in transportation, electrical equipment, insurances, chemicals, construction sector. Besides these, I personally see that there is a huge opportunity of working together in tackling the greatest challenge of climate change. Here, I would like to focus on three areas: renewables, hydrogen, and EV. The two nations have announced many initiatives, as Stefan was mentioning before. One is hydrogen, wherein the two countries early this year signed a joint declaration of intent to form an Indo-German hydrogen task force to strengthen mutual cooperation in production, utilization, storage, and distribution of the green hydrogen. For the renewable sector, the Indian Power Ministry recently, through a roundtable, urged the German energy companies to take part and compete in manufacturing of high-efficiency solar cells and modules as India looks to set up 50 gigawatt of capacity. With the government supporting this EV 30 at 30 initiative, India needs to develop a comprehensive e-mobility system from manufacturing to recycling with a very strong regional battery supply chain. This would need a very strong partner in investment in infrastructure and people. And here two German companies that are already well ahead in their journey of EV can play a very, very vital role. With the points discussed so far, I see that the intent, the will, and the interventions by the government and various stakeholders are already in place. However, the effective implementation and learning from the previous engagements are the areas that require a laser-sharp focus. As a closing remark, I would like to say India is seen by the world as a reliable partner and have most factors that make the market attractive for FDI. The active engagement of other stakeholders such as CII and corresponding interventions are in place as well. The need of stronger implementation, visibility, engagement with stakeholders at different levels between the countries and building investor confidence, especially in the area of ease of doing business, is extremely critical. Maybe it's a time to refresh the Make in India campaign. I once again thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak and giving me a patient hearing.